Hey guys, here just to make a quick video about water-cooled fittings. Just gonna go through some of the basics. There are obviously a ton of different kinds of fittings out there, but I just wanted to clear some misconceptions that, or answer some questions maybe that others first starting to cool their systems had, like when I was looking for my parts. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with this simple compression fitting. This one in particular is by EK. This is, so you can tell compression fittings are separated by their size. So for this one, these are 3/8. This is a 3/8 inner by a 5/8 outer diameter tube, which I actually have right here. So pretty much the concept of it is you take your tube and you just put this, oh sorry, you should put the ring, when the fittings are rolling somewhere. So you take the ring and you put it on the tubing before, and then you insert the barb side into the tubing. And particularly with 3/8, it's really tough because if you can see, that's a really thick tubing wall right there. There's some pros and cons to it, but if here, I can try to do it off camera real quick. Okay. Yeah, it's very tough, and you'll probably be injuring, or not injuring, but you'll get these like really nasty fingers afterwards. But we're just gonna pretend that that's touching. Pretty much all you do is just twist it on, and the farther you get down, the tighter it becomes, and that's completely normal. And this isn't screwed all the way, but that should touch right there. This is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, moving on. Aside from compression fittings, these are really all you need to start your loop. So you would need 2 for your block, 2 for your what's it called, for your pump, for your radiator, and then for your reservoir if you have one. So a total of either 6 or 2. Especially with soft tubing, that's what I'm running in my system. It's just you don't really need anything else. So I guess I could go over. So compression fittings come for both rigid and soft tubing. This is soft tubing. Well, reason being because it's soft. But there's rigid tubing, which are just like a copper tube, or we consider that rigid, like PETG or acrylic tube that's just really solid. Same concept. There's usually not a barb in here. There's an O-ring on the inside, and you just plug it in and tighten it down with the O-ring. So same concept, but the reason why I'm going with soft tubing is you see all these adapters here. You're like probably wondering what this guy doing a soft tubing build's doing with all these 90-degree angle adapters and such. Is because soft tubing is obviously less fragile than rigid tubing, and I do plan on moving my system a little bit from time to time, whether to lands or like just to bring it out to work on, tinker on, and I don't want that fragile of a case or inside. So I'm going with soft tubing, but I'm going to use all these adapters here to create this feeling of hard tubing. So I'm going to make very straight runs and such like that. So I'm going to get my water blocks to give you guys some examples. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. This is with me a EK Supremacy nickel plexi. As you can see, nickel because it's nickel plated on the bottom, and then plexi top, see-through. But I'm just going to use this as demonstration. So we're going to set that aside for now. But so the majority of anything else for fittings, there are a ton of different kinds. Most of them are adapters, and there are unique ones like drain valves, which I don't have one currently with me. I've got them coming in, and we got things like these multi ports, and like if you ever the quick disconnects, you've probably seen them from more popularized with the EK Predator series, the plastic ones. But water coolers have been using them. Like there's a few from Coolants and I think Bitspower and alphacool, but pretty much they're metal connectors. There's also flow valves. There's a variety of different kinds of things, but mostly here are just a bunch of adapters. I'll just go through with you guys. There's some things people might not know. So I guess we can start with a multi-port. Multi-ports are very useful, and we see there's 4 outlets, and so here we'll go through a few things along with the multi-port. So for example, I could have, let's just pretend that this is the outlet of a pump, right? This oh crap, I don't remember what they're called, but the hole where you have to the thread hole. So what you would do is you could attach one of these male to male adapters, and pretty much males are the thread parts. So you would put that in here, and you can see now that you can actually plug this multiport into something. So for example, I could plug it into this water block right here, but I wouldn't really suggest doing that. This is more for pumps or something. So if I had, let's just pretend that my water block, CPU water block, is the pump right now, and I could close it off with, these are just simply plugs, because well, they stop the water flow. And there are many different kinds. This one right here is an alphacool, really plug that you can really, that you can adjust with your hand. Hold on 1 second. With your hand, and tighten with your hand. There are some, like the ones from EK, that require an Allen wrench to tighten. But I just got these alphacool ones. And then from right here, you can, let's see here. This is another one, a male-to-male EK adapter, and you can put it right here. This will go in. 1 second. Okay, well, this is being very difficult right now, but pretty much concepts like that. Put a drain valve here, shuts on and off, and then you can have a, where's my compression fitting? And you can have your, this thing keeps dropping off. I don't really have a proper camera stand, so I'm using like a box right now. So you could finish it off and have complete your flow in another direction with like a compression fitting or something. So let's just move on from that. So we also, the majority of everything else are just adapters. As you can see, we have these, which are extensions, simply male to female port. There's not much else to say about these, but that they extend. It's one thing to know, I guess, it's possible to create a loop based off of just fittings. It's going to run you well over a couple $100. Like what I have in front of me right here with all the fittings and such, they come to around $80, $90, and this isn't even that much. So we have these adapters right here where you can just extend other things like that. And one thing to note that I didn't mention before, but all these fittings, the threads are connected or sealed off with an O-ring. You'll notice that the female ends don't really have an O-ring inside them. It's because the male ends have it with the threads. So that creates a complete seal. You need these or you're going to have leaks in your loop. So let's see here. We can move on. For example, we can look at this. This is a simple 90-degree fitting. There's not much else to say here, but connect this to a female port, and then you can add something else to this, and just creates a perfect 90-degree bend. This is more for hardline tubing. I'm just going to figure out what I'm going to use this for eventually. And then we have these. These fittings are, or let's look at this one first. This looks familiar like the one before, right? But the difference, But the difference is that this is a rotary. So what do I mean by that? If you look at the bottom, there's this ring right here that I can actually rotate. This is really tight because bitspowers fittings are known for they're really tight fittings. So so what this allows me to do, as you can see here, I can put this into my water block. And here, let me get a compression fitting here. Put this in my water block and say that I need the loop to go not this way, but that way. Just do that. That's because the part that's actually turning is this right here, rather than on the inside itself. Because if you wanted to twist and turn like that, you'd be ripping into your thread, and that's not a good thing. So these are very useful for if you need just simple turns, making it easy. Like right now, I'm just turning and turning, and it just feels very loose and natural. Whoops. There you go again. Okay. Moving on. So the majority of the rest of these are just adapters. So right now here we have, just like the 90-degree one, but this is a 45-degree. Yeah, not much to say about that. These, you'll notice that it's female to female 90-degree, and they've both got these, these rotary things. I don't exactly know what they're called, but that makes it possible. So if I needed to attach something to it that isn't rotary, let's take that bitspowers 90-degree for example. So now, if this was just a regular female port, this wouldn't be able to turn at all. But now I can turn it any direction I want. Okay, and then we have these, this XSPC. I don't know if you can really tell right there. It's a female to female, just another extension of some kind. And we have these, which are just, so these, they come in very different kinds. So what we have here is a single rotary, single because, let me use a compression fitting, makes it a lot easier. Single because it has one available twist in it. See that? These are really, really tough, so I usually have to put some kind of other fitting in there to twist them. And then we have this one, which is a dual, and I guess you can infer why on that. And then this one, which is a triple. So pretty much these allow for like really intricate bends, or not bends, but allows you to work with a lot of angles. So for example, you'll see these look pretty nice. So I could put this single rotary on here, followed by a compression fitting. And I could say, let's see here. This would maybe go to a radiator up here, and then I could put this 90 right here. Whoops. I could put this 90 right here. And it could go to either like a RAM block or like a MOSFET down here. But pretty much it's flexible fittings. I usually tend to prefer the rotary ones just because they look nicer too, and add a great deal of functionality. So this is just a simple water cooling fittings guide. I know there's a lot more out there. Maybe in the future I will bring you guys another video about that. just the updated version. But hey, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or send me a message. But yes, so for now, I plan on bringing in some more videos because I'm starting my build soon, and I thought I'd just record all these along the way as guides to help those who are wanting to get into their first build or water cool build. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe if you want. But if you disliked it, I guess dislike it as well. But I hope this video helped you guys in some way, taught you guys something that you didn't know before. But thanks for watching, and catch you guys later.